Is it true? Is it saved? It's looking like FFB is actually heading in a direction that I can enjoy wholeheartedly, and I'm glad to be able to say that to you guys. We're going to be going over my thoughts on some of the biggest announcements that was made at the FFBE 3rd anniversary live stream. We're not going to talk about a lot of the stuff they already know about, right? CG Charlotte's already coming out with video on that. I did a video earlier today on the GLEX enhancements, but we will talk about that because it kind of went beyond my initial expectations. I was going to upload our live stream that we had with my reaction to it live, but every time I try to, make a VOD out of that, the audio and video slowly start desyncing over time, and because it's like not like a constant 1 minute desync or 1 second audio video desync, I can't just resync it manually. It's just slowly over time. It'll be half a second, 0.2 seconds, 1 second, 2.5 seconds. It's just slowly desyncs over time over the course of 2 hours or whatever. So I couldn't put that up for you guys. That was my initial plan, was to do that and then do an overview, but you guys aren't gonna get that. You're gonna just get the overview. The VOD is up there if you do want to watch that for whatever reason on twitch.tv. But here we go. My thoughts on what is going on with FFBE in the future and why I'm so happy finally. Because number one thing, content. So content, it's been pretty lacking in FFBE as of late. Now we're not talking about King Mog, raids, all that fun stuff, the nitty gritty, not the nitty gritty, but the basic stuff. The basic stuff we get week by week. Every week we get a banner, and then we get some sort of event, King Mog event or story mode event or some sort of raid boss battle. Some easy content. Then every once in a while we'll get a trial, and then you do that trial one time, boom, you get a piece of gear. You may like it, you may not like it, and then that's pretty much it. As far as someone who's been playing the game like a veteran or whatever, it's pretty much what happens. Because sometimes too the trials get delayed a little bit longer than they should be. In some cases, not so much nowadays, but with Foresight and whatnot, we've had all this time to prep and prep and prep. So basically, whenever a trial comes out, the trials are so far apart that even though the trials get harder over time, we get stronger over time too, just based on characters that come out, or we've had XYZ amount of time to get 1 or 2 more TMRs. And if you've been playing the game 2-3 years, you have all this other extra stuff, and you can just pretty much with a proper strategy just knock that trial right out of the park right away. Especially if you can bring a strong friend unit with the latest and the greatest. You just bring your strong friend, latest, greatest unit, beat that trial 1, and you're done. So let's get into some of the content that we've talked about here. We're going to have series boss battles. This was something that was brought up in JP. Ours are going to be a little bit different, and I do like the change. So we don't know what the rewards are going to be in the global version, but in the Japanese version, the reward for series boss battles was it would lock an ability, an active ability and a passive ability for different characters. So series boss battles are going to be based on different Final Fantasy. So you have series boss battle for 5, right? Will be against Neo Exit. The series boss battle for FFB will be against Season 1's Chaotic Darkness. Season 6's series boss battle number 6, is Kefka or whatever. So series boss battle, FF6 would unlock abilities for all the FF6 characters. 5 would unlock abilities for all the FF5 characters. Really cool kind of thing. A little bit of extra power. The problem with that is that, once that boss battle's done, you don't ever want to have another series boss battle number 5 again, because the way it works in JP is it unlocks every FF5 character's abilities, period. Whether they're released or unreleased, if they ever come up with new FF5 characters, they launch with their series boss battle abilities already done. So that kind of makes it a little bit weird to design a unit, right? Think like this. If you were to design a unit to have them come out in global with their ability awakenings already there, that's kind of what you have to do, right? It kind of is really weird. You can't create a unit and then buff them later. You have to create a unit already buffed, and it kind of is they're either going to be too strong or they're going to be too weak, because you don't want to make them too strong, and then they already have those ability awakenings and they're not going to get them later on. So the way we're doing it, we're not going to have the ability buffs from the series boss battles. We're going to have some other sort of reward, and I do like that because it's going to allow them to buff those characters later rather than right away and then not later at all. So that's going to be awesome there. It's going to be a new thing to do. Okay, and then to take a place of the abilities that were going to be or would have awakened from the series boss battles, we're going to have an EP system. They kind of glanced on the EP system, talked to us about it a little bit, and it's going to be a way for us to get I always want to call them effort points, but they're called some EP points, right? So basically think of them as a system where you can gain currency for the EP system, excuse me, for different characters, and then you can use those points to get bonus abilities on those characters or enhanced abilities on those characters. So think of it as like a new way. It's not ability awakenings, but it's something like that. We're going to be able to awaken or grant certain characters new abilities, and it's not the same ones that the ability awakening system we already have already entails. So that's gonna be cool. It's gonna be another way to strengthen characters that we already have on our accounts. Another reason to not pull for characters, strengthen old characters, strengthen our favorites, utilize our favorites, all that fun stuff. That's why I really like that system. Now, last but not least, it's gonna be the new trial, the new chamber of vengeance, I do believe it's called, the Chamber of Vengeance, which is absolutely brilliant and my favorite thing that I've seen in a long time. I do love this so much. Chamber of the Vengeful, right? This is going to be global original bosses that we haven't seen before, and they said that the plan, they didn't promise, they said the plan right now is to give us one of these a month in addition to everything else. So, you know, Trial of the Reborn and Trial of the Indignant, you know, all that stuff, we're going to get all that stuff too, but we're supposed to get a global original Chamber of the Vengeful boss in addition to all that stuff once a month. That's the plan right now. And this is gonna be bosses that we've seen before, but this is gonna be like the hard mode versions of it. And I do like the way that this is built up. So like the first one that we're supposed to be getting in mid-July actually is the Exterminator Extraordinaire. So you guys remember this guy, the Easter boss. And if you see here, he's gonna actually drop 3 different things. I'm not gonna have very many pictures of photos in here for you guys to look at. But the Exterminator Extraordinaire has 3 different pieces of gear, and this is because he's got 3 different rewards you need to do for those pieces of gear during the fight. And this is why I like these boss battles so much. It's because the rewards that you get are based on incrementally using a different amount of characters. So the first time you beat the Exterminator Extraordinaire, I think one of the first ones like use 5 different characters, right? So you go into the battle, you have 5 different characters. You know, your tank, your healer, blah, 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 blah. You beat them, you get that first reward. And the second reward after is like use 8 different characters in total, right? And you get like a King Pot or whatever, and it goes all the way up to like use 25 different characters. So you need to redo the fight with different team compositions and keep going and going. That gives you so much replayability, and that's gonna allow you to get all of these different rewards. I do love the thought, the idea of this, because it solves I beat the trial one time, I'm done, there's nothing else to do now. You have to like go in there, you have to come up with different team comps to beat this boss. The boss doesn't change, but your team composition does, which makes your experience change. And I think this is way better than the one and done hard mode trial fight stuff that we've been getting used to in FFB. And remember, this is in addition to everything else that we get. One of these a month on top of all the other stuff, on top of series boss battles, on top of Chamber of the Reborn, on top of anything else, all the traditional King Mog content, whatever, on top of all of that stuff. And it's going to be rewarding for you guys. And there's the EP system to make strengthen your characters. So I do like this a lot. I like this a lot. I think it's very, 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 very important. Now, some other things that aren't content based, we did also get the announcement of the first global exclusive, or not global exclusive, global original, okay? Global original CG unit, Elena, very strong looking, true double hand, hybrid attacker. I know, let the memes come out. We've got a Frivy, we've got a Roar Frivy. Now we've got Elena here. Hybrid damage buffs. She also buffs your teams, attack, defense, magic, and spirit. She has some supportive skills. I think she can heal a little bit too, they said. She's got 4 different elements. Her Trust Master reward is going to be a very high hybrid sword, very high variance hybrid sword. So I'm looking forward to like the Soul Saber, whatever it's called, like 1.5 on average variance, very strong there. It'll probably be the best hybrid sword in the game for her because only she can equip it. Her Super TMR is supposed to be a strong unstackable materia meant for true double hand units that benefits both your attack and magic while single wielding any weapon. So I'm expecting this to be true double hand attack, true double hand magic, attack percent, and magic percent all at the same time. She can afford secondary support and recovery to all allies, and impair up to 4 enemies with imbuing up to 4 elements. And her CG, she's like a crystal warrior, so if I had to go out on a limb and guess which one she would do, depends on which Final Fantasy. A lot of the Final Fantasy crystal colors are what? Fire, wind, water, and earth. I think that's the one from FF3, so we'll see if that's what happens. She could just be random elements. She could be like ice, light, lightning, and dark. Who knows? You know, who knows? On top of that, guys, we are doing another unit design and boss design contest. This is why when I made that what should you vote for videos, so if you're going to pick option 4 just because you want to see a new unit coming to fruition for FFB, don't worry about that, because we're going to be picking and selecting over the course of this year a physical attacker, a magical attacker, a healer, a buffer, a debuffer, a tank, and 3 boss monsters. So if you want to design a character for FFBE, you're going to have your shot. Physical attacker, magical attacker, healer, buffer, debuffer, tank. 6 different units and 3 boss monsters that need to get designed for this year. We're going to be doing that. Entries will be accepted, they said, I think during mid-July, I do believe is when they said that stuff's coming out. Worldwide FFBE fan reception, they're going to be doing a live stream in New York in November, and I think they're going to be trying to make their way maybe around the world. I think they said something about Paris or France or Germany, Korea, and Taiwan as well. So look forward to that. I think they said something about like Paris in July, Germany in like August, and it's Korea September. And they're going to come all the way back over here or something to New York in November. So that's pretty interesting. Also pretty interesting that they go September, skip October, November in New York, and then nothing in December. Obviously, that's probably when FanFest is going to be. So keep that in mind. And then they gave a little bit of other information about some of the other things going on here. So what I want to talk about here, some of the stuff here, collaborations. That's what I want to talk about. What collaborations can we look forward to? There's stuff planned, but I can't tell you anything. If you look at the JP version, you might be able to guess it. So I guess they're gonna, the Octopath Traveler, even though they're like really old, I think they need to get buffed up a little bit if they do come out. I was never like a huge Octopath collab friend, nothing about the game, but like the units themselves, I'm kind of like whatever. Primrose and Dancer, I love Dancer's cool, but I don't think I'd have a spot in her on my party. Will there ever be a PC version of FFBE? There's already a PC version of the JP version and app, but we're still thinking in deciding on what platform. I think is what they said. I think they said, they kind of baited us. They were like, we're currently thinking about making it, right? Because like they kind of let on like, we're currently making it for you guys. No, we're currently thinking about making it is how they answered. I was like, oh my goodness, like oosh. And then will there ever be a story reset? They said that they are thinking about how best to implement it, and it'll probably be done in a different way in global, not all at the same time. You know, here's your solution for that, because I know it was kind of wonky a little bit in JP, because they've had like 1 or 2 of them now, and it's really weird to implement a story reset when like the whole story isn't done yet, right? So if you want to implement it in portions, here you go, dude. Just reset season 1. Reset season 1 right now. When season 2 is done, reset the whole thing, or reset season 2, or whatever it is that you want to do. Go ahead and do that. And then the last thing that we skipped over all at the beginning is the global exclusive buffs to global characters. Now this one, they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna change up some of your favorite characters. July we're gonna have Elespris and Malphasine and all these characters that you guys love and all this other stuff. Then in August we're gonna have like Roberta and some other characters. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Free buffs to characters, that's fine. But the buffs, if you haven't seen the video today that I put out before this one, if you haven't seen these buffs are like way beyond what Ability Awakenings could do. They're like series boss battle plus buffs, even beyond that, because they changed the characters TMRs and super TMRs and give them new abilities. Like this is not your normal Ability Awakening. This is like a revamp of characters. This is them going back to the drawing board, looking at what worked for that character, what didn't work for that character, what really held that character back, like not having a 2-handed weapon or a true double hand on a Elespris, not having an imbue on a Elespris, all this other stuff. Taking a deep dive look at what made that character way weaker than probably what it should have been, and just changing it and just making them better for free. Nothing had to do, no Ability Awakening grinding, nothing to the cost of the player, just going in, revamping that character, making it way better than before. We have materias in there now that are like super TMR level materias. We have another 2-handed katana that is just a TMR, which is insane. They also added like Demon Killer to it. They gave her a true double hand. She's got permanent triple cast now because it also still procs her magnificent trust ability and all this other stuff. Like it's an insane amount of stuff. If we see more of this stuff, which apparently we are because we're doing it again in August, free revamps to characters. This is awesome. It gives more longevity to a lot of you guys' favorite characters out there. They may not be absolutely broken inherently, but it fixes some of the weaker characters, makes them stronger for you to use on content. And this is awesome for everyone. Like awesome if you just love the character, awesome if you want a character that you already have so you don't need to feel like you need to pull on any new characters. Fantastic all the way around. So if you want to see the full details on those characters, make sure you check out the previous video today, guys. But outside of that, guys, I thought FFBE is going to be heading in a fantastic direction. For a while, I was just sitting here like hoping that eventually we'd get more content, more stuff to do, more stuff to be excited for, more reasons to use old characters. All of those things got answered because for a long time now, it's been like King Mog, Raid, some garbage, blah 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 blah, more garbage, maybe a time limit event that's like kind of unique but really not, you know, raid event, wave battle, raid event, King Mog, blah 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 blah. Now, oh, here's a trial, beat that trial, one shot that trial, boop 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 boop. All right, back to King Mog slog, you know. So if this holds up, and it needs to hold up that one bonus Trial of Vengeance a month, like, do not fall behind on this stuff. If you fall behind on this stuff, it's going to look really bad. And I just hope you don't. If you can hold up this stuff, dude, this is going to be a fantastic time for FFBE to get back in it. All this fun stuff, great changes for both content and you know, players with the unit buffs and all this other stuff. So let me know how you guys felt about these announcements. I thought they were fantastic. I thought they were amazing. All that good stuff. Let me know how you feel about the content selection, the unit buffs, the GLEX changes, all this stuff. And you know, be safe out there, guys. I'll catch you in the next one and on stream tonight. Be sure to come hang out. It's gonna be a fun time. Talk to you later.